Hello everyone and welcome to VLOGMAS Part 2. Just an FYI, this intro clip I can already tell is going to be pretty long because I have a lot to update you on since I finished the vlog this morning. So I will try to do it in the order that I think you'll be most interested in. But first and foremost, my name is Jenny. If you are new to my channel, welcome. This is my Vlogmas. If you have not already seen my first part of Vlogmas, which was the first 2 weeks of December, I'll put a link up to that in the cards above. And yeah, I'm here to talk about Vlogmas stuff, reading stuff, cooking stuff, hanging out and doing Christmassy stuff. So it's about 5:30 on Saturday. I did not update you any more this morning, aside from my brief clip this morning. My little sister is about to come and barge in on my vlog.
Hello vlog.
Hello vlog.
How's everyone doing
Good.
today?
This is gonna be the new vlog. And Buppy P's coming too. Here, we'll turn. Come on, Buppy. You want, no, come here. He can be in the vlog. He probably doesn't want me on camera. Buppy, look at the camera. Buppy. Oh.
Beautiful.
So it's about 5:30 on Saturday evening. There has been a fair amount of different things that I've been doing, some of which I will show you different, memorabilia pieces from. But first and foremost, I will give you a reading update since I did not give an update at the end of my last vlog. So my main reading update is that I desperately need to finish this book, The Shadow King by Maaza and Mengiste, preferably by like tomorrow at noon, and I have over 200 pages left. And so we're gonna try my best. I have about 6 hours left of the audiobook, so I'm gonna try to listen to a couple hours of this evening and then probably also buckle down tomorrow morning and finish it. However, before I sit down and do that, I also need to do some work on my grad school applications, but I feel like I'm a broken record saying that in a bunch of vlogs, but it's true because today I actually need to submit some of them. So as soon as I'm finished with this, I'm going to go and scan my transcript. But those are kind of my main reading updates. Other than that, all the books that I was reading in my first part of Vlogmas, I am still reading, which include Kink, which is an anthology from Nekele that's coming out in February, Aria by Nazanine Hozar, which came out back in August, and I also had as an early arc from Nekele. Additionally, I am also actively reading Stamped from the Beginning by Ibram x Kendi. This one I actually am hoping to read a little bit this weekend, i.e. probably tomorrow if I have the time. I'm about 100 pages into this one in Thomas Jefferson section. Really enjoying this, but have not been able to read that much of it, as you saw if you watched my last Vlogmas, because I've been quite busy the past week or so. And then was also potentially hoping to finish New Daughters of Africa this weekend. I have less than 100 pages. I have about 75 pages, which I genuinely don't think will take me all that long. So this is a goal project if I can get The Shadow King actually done. And then I think those are all the books that I'm actively reading. I have a few that I've set aside for this week because this is my last week of work before the holiday break. So I won't be talking about them at all this week, so I won't even mention them here. So with all of that being said, I will quickly go over the other kind of things that I wanted to show you in this introductory clip, but they will be less interesting potentially for some of you. I first wanted to show a little ornament that my mom just bought me at a little Christmas stocking stuffer event that we went to. It was outdoors in the neighborhood kind of next to us, and it was pretty fun. There was a surprising number of people just around in general, but then also a fair number without masks, and groups of people that some people had masks and some didn't. Atlanta is very weird, it seems, with people not all wearing masks uniformly. It's not super kind of strict in terms of being outside and wearing masks. Does not seem to be a priority for a lot of people, which I think is different in other parts of the country, which is potentially why we've had problems with it, particularly during the summer. It was really bad here in Georgia. But anyway, so I got this cute little ornament that is actually a recycled aluminum can. It's been hand painted and then folded over into this kind of turtle shape. And this particular one, because it was part of her sieve collection or something, is some of the proceeds of this is going to be donated to an organization that cleans up trash in the ocean. So I thought that was super cute, and my mom is a huge ornament collector, and I think she's trying to get me to also start collecting ornaments, which I'm well on my way to doing. So she did buy me that as a cute little Christmas present. And then I also wanted to show you the books that I got the kids for which I am a pod leader. I've talked about this a little bit on my channel, but I am a pod leader for a group of elementary schoolers doing virtual school. There's mostly third graders, but then there is one fourth grader, and then there's also a kindergartner that joins us for aftercare. So I got them all Christmas presents from a local children's bookstore called Little Shop of Stories. They're super cute. If you're ever in the Atlanta area and it is no longer COVID times, I would definitely recommend checking them out. Super fun. I'll put a link to them down in the description box below. But I just wanted to show you the books that I ended up getting the kids in case you have an elementary school aged child or an elementary school aged person that you know who you may be looking for books to get them. So for the kindergartner, I got her one of my absolute favorite books when I was that age, which is Miss Bindergarten Gets Ready for Kindergarten. This one is super cute. So they're all animals and they all have letter names. So like Adam Krupp, Brenda Heath, Christopher Beaker, and then they are all animals that correspond with the letter they've been assigned. So if that makes sense. So like Emily is an elephant, I think Danny's a dog, etc. There's even X is Xavier, he's a Xenosaurus. I think my family discovered that that is maybe not actually a real animal, but they tried their best. So it's a super fun little series of books for like early readers. As you can see, the font is really big and you know, not hard to get through, and I just thought that would be a really fun gift since I love this book series so much. And actually my mom recently rebought me a copy because we gave it away when we were doing a huge unhaul of a lot of our children's books, I think, but I really missed having it because it definitely was my favorite book when I was that age. So I have that one, and then one of the other ones that I think they go on a field trip as part of my book collection over there somewhere. Then for the next one, who is one of the third graders, she's a bit of a reluctant reader, however, and she loves bugs. I got her the data set, Invasion of the Insects. So this one is kind of a little beyond chapter books. It's probably about 200-ish pages and has a pretty big font, but seemed pretty fun. Apparently it's about a mad scientist and this group of friends that live next door to him, I think, and he takes them on like science fiction-y adventures. And since she loves bugs and she does like books with pictures in them, I thought that would be a winner for her. Then another graphic novel or book with pictures in it, I have Click by Kayla Miller. Oh, and this one is by Ada Hopper. And this one is by Joseph Slate, and Ashley Wolf is the illustrator. So Click is a graphic novel that has, here's some like images, about a fifth grader named Olive who I think is having some friend troubles. And one of the girls really likes graphic novels. She also is a bit, she's not a reluctant reader, but she does sometimes struggle with reading. And so she really likes graphic novels because she likes the pictures with them too. And so these type of like friendship-centric girls finding their place type of stories, there seems to be ones that she really likes. So I got her that one. And then there's two girls that are really strong readers that both read a lot of kind of middle grade already, even though they're only in third grade. And they both really like fantasy stories, but primarily I've been seeing them reading a lot of kind of either classic fantasy stories or just books that are written for middle grade audiences that are written by white men. And I was like, why not introduce them to a more diverse pick? So I picked two women of color authors who write middle grade fantasy. The first of which I got for one of them was Love, Sugar, Magic, A Dash of Trouble. This is by Anna Mariano, I think is how you'd say her last name. Super excited about this one. I've seen it make the rounds on BookTube. I think I actually first heard about this one from Jocelyn at Yogi with a Book, who talked about it, I assume, when it came out back in like 2017 or 2018. Let's see, 2018. And she really enjoyed it. It's about a young girl by the name of Leo, whose Mexican-American family owns a bakery in Texas, and they are really revered in their community. Their pastries are like extraordinarily good, and Leo actually realizes that her mom and her aunt and her older sisters are all brujas, which is of Mexican ancestry, as the back says, and she kind of gets involved in some of that witchcraft, and I think probably gets into some trouble based on the subtitle of, or the title of this particular installment. So I've not read this one, but it seems really fun, and I feel like they will really like it. My idea with these two was that they could swap, or they could, you know, get another copy so they can both read it together, because that's something they both really like to do. And then the other one I have read was Aria and The End of Time by Roshani Chokshi. So this one is actually set here in Atlanta, at least in part, and the author is local, so there actually was a book plate, a signed book plate inside the book, which was a surprise. I was not anticipating that. And this one is part of the Rick Riordan Presents imprint and is a Hindu mythology inspired book about a girl named Aria who unlocks a sleeper giant who is going to instruct the destructor of Earth to like come if Aria and another young girl whose name is something, I can't remember the other one's name, don't, you know, save the entirety of Earth. So this is also a reimagining of the Pandava brothers, which is another aspect of Hindu mythology, and I really enjoyed this one quite a lot. I thought it had some really good themes, and I think the girls will really like that one. And then last but not least, this was really my like pride and joy, was there is a fourth grader who I actually talked a little bit about in my last vlog, who loves military history and very recently has been getting into the history of the Haitian Revolution and its relationship with like yellow fever and how yellow fever played a role in the Haitian Revolution and the American Revolution. So when I found this book, I was like, he needs to have this. And it's a little beyond his age level, so it's for like I think 10 to 17, and he just turned 10. But he is very advanced in his reading level, so I think this should be fine. We're gonna see how this one goes. But this is Blood and Germs, The Civil War Battle Against Wounds and Disease by Gail Jarrow. And so this is a nonfiction book about the like history of how diseases impacted Civil War battles and kind of what was the medical treatment like at that time, which I just thought he would find so fun. There's a lot of pictures in here too, and he definitely, I mean, he reads like the World War II Wikipedia page for fun, so this is definitely like appropriate for the kind of level of knowledge and exposure he has to like themes of like military stuff. So I thought this would be appropriate, but at the same time like a little intense potentially, so we're hoping that this will go over well with everyone. But I thought this was just so cool looking and definitely something that he would really enjoy. So that is the last one that I got. So I just wanted to share those with you all, since you are also readers and potentially may know some elementary school, middle grade readers. And those ones all seem good. I can't vouch how good any of them actually are, aside from Aria, which I definitely enjoyed. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars maybe. But I wanted to show those off in general anyway. And I think that is everything that I want to update you right now. I've already been talking for almost 15 minutes, so this intro clip, as I said, is going to be very long, but I may check in with you later today if I have any other interesting updates, or if not, I will check in with you tomorrow morning. So it's now Sunday at about 2 p.m. and I thought I would give you another update. The first and most important update probably is that this morning I did submit 3 of my applications, which was super exciting, 2 of which were for my very top schools. So that was very nerve-wracking. Not that the process necessarily was stressful, but just how much meaning had been imbued into those applications. I mean, it was over like a year of kind of reflecting and thinking about what I want my like professional trajectory to look like that kind of went into those. So there's a lot at stake there, but at the same time, there's nothing I can do about it now. So excited to have those done. I also did have a fun little snafu yesterday with one of the applications, which luckily is for a like backup school, so I'm not the most worried about it. But it seems that the application requirements for that one have changed in the last like month, which doesn't make any sense. So I've emailed them and I'm hoping they'll get back to me tomorrow, and if not, I'm going to give them a call tomorrow because I wanted to also submit that one. And then there's one final application that I won't be submitting until after Christmas, I think, is my plan, to just give myself a whole break and rest period. So that is kind of what's been happening this morning. I also made the executive decision to not join Courtney and Lindsay for their Shadow King book club discussion because I just wasn't able to finish the book. I still have quite a bit of it left. Let's see, I'm on page 244 and there's 425 pages. So that one I'm just going to continue kind of trekking along slowly in, and I will be posting my review probably not until next weekend, so likely before this vlog goes up because it'll go up a week from today, but not anytime during this coming week. Probably on Saturday is when I will post my review and discussion of the Shadow King, and I am enjoying it. It's written really, really well, but I am just finding the plot kind of hard to engage with personally. So that's kind of my thoughts on that right now. I will continue listening to the audiobook later today when I do some cleaning of my room because it desperately needs to be cleaned. And probably also while wrapping some Christmas presents, which I'm also hoping to do today. And I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to update you on. Right now I'm going to go on a little walk just to kind of clear my mind, take some deep breaths, calm myself with the outdoors and nature, and listen to Taylor Swift's new album, which is absolutely phenomenal. If you have not listened to Folklore and Evermore, I would highly, highly recommend both of them. They are great. Also, of course, since the cat is on the bed, we have to include him in the vlog a little bit. He's such a sweetheart. What a cutie. I'm out on my walk, and this house occasionally does this of just putting books out that are free. But this time they've done like a ton of books. And then also they have this cute note that says that they'd like you to donate to one of the local elementary schools here, or one of the local elementary schools here that is part of our cluster, but is primarily where the vast majority of the Black students in our cluster go to school, which is so sweet. I'm definitely going to be donating to them later. I have to double check my budget and see how much money I have allocated for donations, but I just thought that was so fun. And this is so many books. Usually they only have like 5. So it's about 5:30 now, still on Sunday. I posted my first part of Vlogmas video, which should be linked up in the cards above. I also then caught up on some YouTube videos, which was fun. And now I think I'm going to work on a fun project of cleaning my room / reorganizing. There's like a bunch of stuff on the ground behind me, so I'm going to work on that. Put my audiobook on for The Shadow King. As I said when I last updated you, I'm about 240 pages into this, so hopefully we'll make some progress in that. I also think that I'm gonna have a like video extravaganza starting next weekend, so I'm just gonna try to get through this last week of work. I have to babysit / do aftercare tomorrow, Monday, which I usually don't. I am done at 2:30, but tomorrow we're going to go on a shopping adventure. So that'll be fun, me and 2 of the girls, so they can get some presents maybe for their parents. We'll probably just go to Target, honestly. And I think we're also going to do some holiday crafts to also get them some gifts for their parents. So that'll all be fun. And then I have aftercare Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well. So this is just going to be like a big week of trying to like get through to the end of the light at the end of the tunnel. But I think then Saturday morning, whatever day that is that can be the 18th, 19th? It'll be the 19th. I'll do a like filming extravaganza of like 4 videos that I want to film, and then I'll post one each day. Like Saturday will be my probably Shadow King review, Sunday will be this week's vlog, Monday will be a like Reading Women related video, Reading Women challenge related video, and then Tuesday will be a like January through March updated releases video. So get excited for the midst of what you will be experiencing when I post this vlog of 4 videos, 1 each day. So then the other thing I wanted to update you on is that I think this evening I'm going to start Goodbye Vitamin by Rachel Khong, which is my like IRL BFF book club book that I do. So we're going to probably meet next weekend, I think is our plan. One of my friends is already done with the book. She said she finished it in one sitting. And then the other one may not have started. I'm not sure. She might have actually started because I think she was going to read Pachinko, and I saw a couple days ago that she finished that on Goodreads. So I need to start this. It's like incredibly short. And it looks like it's not very text heavy on the pages, so I don't think this will take a lot of time or a lot of energy, which is good for the vibes that I'm in right now. So I think this might be the book that I start taking to work and stuff this week, and then I'll just leave The Shadow King at home, and that'll be my like project book for this week, which I do think I'll be able to finish now that I have the audiobook and I'm kind of vibing with that. So hopefully I'll be able to make some good progress throughout the week with The Shadow King so I can finish it by like Thursday or Friday. Alright everyone, it is the evening of Monday, December 14th, and I quickly just wanted to show you this little reading log that I made for myself for the end of the year. So there's 15 books that I'm hoping to finish between now and the end of the year. As you can see, it's the 14th of December. So I thought I would make this kind of little grid log to see what I would need to read kind of each day to get the 15 books that I'm interested in finishing finished. So I've made this and I have kind of plans for the books. So I think right now I'm focusing on books 1, 2, and 3 and kind of books 4 and 5 and hopefully we'll be done with those by the end of this week. Here, I'll kind of show you. So I'll kind of fill in each of the days until I finish that book. Like, for example, one I think I'm hopefully going to finish on Thursday. So that's going to be something that I'll probably periodically let you see in this vlog as well as next week's vlog. But I just wanted to show it to you since I didn't have that much other vlog footage for this day, since all I had was just that little clip of the fam. So check in tomorrow. Bye.
No Bubba.
No Bubba.
Yeah,
It
say
says
with
from
me now. No Bubba.
it says Republican next to their names in their bad. Hi all, so it's about 6 o'clock on Wednesday, December 16th. As you just saw, I just lit that candle. Also, I do realize now that probably putting the candle on top of a stack of books is probably not best practice, but I'm gonna watch it, so I think it'll be fine. Also, it's a very tiny candle. It is my little book of the month candle that they gave me for completing that reading challenge. But anyway, so as I said, it is Wednesday today, and I actually spent much of the day at home today because I was sent home from work. I yesterday developed quite a bad sinus headache that I was hoping was going to go away with a good night's sleep, and this morning I woke up feeling pretty congested and just not great, and I messaged the families after about an hour of work saying, I really don't feel great, but I'm gonna, you know, continue working and we'll see. And they were all like, no, you're gonna go home. So out of an abundance of caution, I probably will continue to stay here at home until my winter break starts on Friday. So I probably will hopefully have some time to read over the next couple of days, although today I did feel not great. I am like 99.9% sure that it is not COVID, in case any of you were concerned. I don't have any COVID symptoms that are like the most common, such as, you know, the fever, the dry cough, or the like difficulty breathing. Like, I really don't feel like it's at all a kind of respiratory problem, and very much just like my nose is full problem, and so like I have a headache kind of right here and stuff. So very much a sinus infection and probably not COVID. Just to kind of give the families peace of mind, I did have a COVID test earlier today, but I probably won't get my results till Saturday. And for those of you that have been concerned about the COVID test, if you've not gotten one, it was incredibly easy. They literally just stick a little Q-tip up your nose, incredibly easy. It hurt more to get my nose piercing done than a COVID test. It was not even, I would not say it hurt like literally whatsoever. It was a little odd, but it didn't hurt. So if that's been a concern of yours, do take my words with caution and hopefully a condolence if that's something that's been frightening to you. But yeah, so as I said, it's about 6 o'clock. I'm gonna make some soup soon for dinner. But in the meantime, I think I'm gonna try to read a bit more slash listen to a bit more of The Shadow King. I am making good progress with this one. I've been keeping up with my reading schedule. I'm about 343 pages into this one, so making good progress in that. Do need to make more progress in Goodbye Vitamin, which I started a couple days ago, and my book club friends and I are meeting for this one on Sunday. I think we decided either Saturday or Sunday. We literally just decided today, and I was like, that sounds great. Now I can't remember what day we picked, but I definitely will be done with it by then. I'm hoping to be done with it even by Friday, or if I feel better tomorrow, but I'm at home, potentially even tomorrow. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Also, last night, even though I was not feeling the best, looked through my New Daughters of Africa anthology. This is very heavy, so I'm gonna put it down, to find both some poets that potentially have poetry collections that I could read for the Reading Women 2021 challenges, and also some writers from the Caribbean who I could use for the short story by a Caribbean author prompt. So I did that yesterday and actually found quite a bunch of them, and I will be putting that video out, I think, on the Monday after this video goes out, so like the day after this video goes up. So get ready to see kind of all my reading plans for the Reading Women 2021 challenge. I definitely want to try to complete every single prompt this year, which I think in 2020 I should be able to do. Next week's vlog is going to be more focused on that in terms of the books I read, but I definitely want to make that a priority in 2021. Hello everyone, so it's Thursday, December 17th at about 9 a.m. I did end up staying home today. I can't remember if I said that yesterday, but I suggested to the families that I stay home again today, and they actually just told me to start taking my holiday break. So I have today and tomorrow off. I do feel much better today. I still feel like a bit of congestion, but definitely better than I did yesterday. So I think today my plan is just to kind of read and chill and not do too much else. Maybe edit this vlog a little bit and potentially film a video. I haven't decided, and also I need to wrap some Christmas presents. So those are all things that are on my agenda for today. The books that I'm hoping to read, I'm actually hoping to finish 3 books today. The first of which I will most definitely finish is New Daughters of Africa. I only have like 20 pages left or something, so that should really only take me like 15-20 minutes. I would also really like to finish The Shadow King today. I have about 80 pages left of this, so this would be a bit more of a project, but I think I could probably do it. If not today, then I would love to finish that tomorrow. And then I could potentially also finish Goodbye Vitamin today. One of my friends in my book club read it in one sitting, and I'm about 70 pages into it, and it's only about 200 pages, so I think that is definitely a possibility for today as well. I'd also like to read a bit more of Kink, which is an anthology of literary fiction short stories that all center around BDSM as like a form of communication, and they've been kind of a mixed bag so far. I've not really loved any of them per se, but I have enjoyed some of them, so it's probably gonna be like a 3-star read, I would bet, and I only have like 5 or 6 more stories. It's about noon now on the 17th, and my biggest exciting announcement is that this morning I finished the New Daughters of Africa anthology, which was absolutely phenomenal. Would highly recommend checking it out if it sounds at all interesting, even just as like a frame of reference point text. I think you would find it really enjoyable, and I really enjoyed quite a lot of the entries. Pretty much all of them, I'd say, were somewhat successful, and then there were probably honestly about like a quarter of them that I really enjoyed and want to check out future work by those people, which I would say is quite a success with an anthology. I also was thinking of potentially doing a full review of that anthology, but I'm honestly not sure what exactly I would say, so I'm probably not going to do one. If you are interested in me talking about it more, it'd primarily just be the people that I found really interesting. I will also say that I do wish it had a bit more excerpts from previously published works, but I also understand that that would have been like a publishing rights nightmare, so that probably is why they did not do that. But yeah, overall super enjoyed it. Would highly recommend checking out that anthology if that is something that interests you. And then the other primary thing, so oh my goodness, boo boo, haha. Haha. The other thing I wanted to update you on was that I was working on some like goal stuff to prepare for 2021. I wasn't going to do a whole like 2021 goals video aside from my like reading women video, which I think I'm going to film tomorrow, just because I set a bunch of goals for 2020 and then, you know, 2020 happened and none of those goals, both like professional and personal and reading, actually the reading goals I blew out of the water, but none of my other goals really happened. And so with 2021 there's a lot of different paths that could happen for me, and so I'm just not sure what's gonna happen. So I want to kind of leave some room for whatever's gonna happen to happen. But I did make some reading goals just to kind of orient myself, so I will, I guess, quickly share them with you now since I'm not going to make a full video. The first of which is that I'm hoping to read 90 books in 2019. I read about 90, I think, if I remember correctly, and that was my goal for 2020. 2020 I'm definitely going to hit 150, which is insane, and I don't think that will be replicated in 2021, so I feel like 90 is a realistic number. It's like 7.5 books a month, which is about how much I've been averaging when I was working. Obviously in 2020 I was unemployed for almost 5 or 6 months, from March to August, and I was reading like 20 books a month, so that definitely kind of skewed my data quite a bit. But back in the beginning of the year when I was working in retail, I was still reading like 8 or 9 books, and then in 2019 when I was in school for the first 6 months of the year I was reading like 6 to 7. So I feel like, considering that, all fingers crossed, in 2021 I will be in school in the last quarter of the year, I will want, or I guess the last third of the year, I will not be reading as much in the second half, but it may be in 2021 that I'm unemployed from like March to August, or I might be unemployed from like in June and July. So it really kind of depends on how everything shapes out with the COVID vaccine and with my grad school plans in terms of how much reading I'm actually able to do. So 90 feels reasonable. If I end up, you know, in March, we have a COVID vaccine, the kids go back to school, and I'm just kind of waiting till grad school, then I probably will read a lot more books than that, but we just will have to see what happens. So that's my primary goal, is reading 90 books, and that's the number I'll set on Goodreads. My second goal is to complete the Reading Women Challenge, which I'm not going to talk about a lot here because I'm going to make a whole video about it. Then my third goal is to reduce my physical TBR, which is a goal that I have talked about in previous videos on my channel, particularly as it's tied to likely moving at some point in 2021, and I don't want to bring this whole bookshelf of unread books with me ideally, but at the same rate I've not been slowing down my like a book buying as much as I really should be. So my reduce my physical TBR goal is kind of a two-parter, the first of which is that I would like to reduce it every month by 2 books, which feels reasonable. That's something that I have been able to do, but that also allows me to like buy books for projects and also to get my book of the month box, etc. So I'm gonna hopefully do 2 books subtracted from my TBR each month, and if I'm doing a really good job at that, then I definitely will increase that number slowly. But I don't think like subtracting 5 books or anything will really be reasonable. So I'm hoping -2. I've been at like 0 in terms of my like number of books read versus books taken off my TBR for the past couple months, so I'd like to get back to actually reducing it. And then the second part of that, which is really the kind of more meaningful aspect of reducing my TBR, is that I would like to read all the books that have been sitting on my physical TBR since before the start of 2020. I was potentially going to do before the start of quarantine in like March of 2020 because I've gotten a lot of books since then, but I think the like 3 or 4 books that I got in January and February are ones that I will probably read at some point in the near future and I'm still interested in. Granted, I'm still interested in all the books on my TBR, I just obviously am not gravitating as much towards the ones that have been sitting there for over a year, sometimes almost 2 years. So what I've actually done, and I'll show you in just a second because it's like I don't want to mess up my little piles, is make little sheets of paper that have the titles of all of the books that have been on my shelves. There's 18 of them since before 2020, and every month I'm going to pull out 2 of those in my TBR video, and I will have to have finished one by the end of the month and started the other one, ideally to finish it in the near future, shortly after that month. So that's my plan going forward right now, so look forward to me kind of talking about that again in my January 2021 TBR video, and then I'll also show you just the little slips of paper. I also made slips of paper for the Reading Women prompts because I'm going to be doing the same thing of pulling 2 of those to read each month, but I will show you more about my thoughts about that and kind of explain what I'll be doing in that Reading Women video. So I think those are all the updates that I had to give you right now. I will probably update you once or twice more later today as we continue to do stuff and as I continue to read my books. I have only read The New Daughters of Africa and not anything else this morning. I was mostly just catching up on like 2021 YouTube videos of like people on my subscription feed, so that kind of inspired me also to update my vlog about my 2021 plans. And then so here are the piles. So this pile is the 2021 Reading Women prompts, so I'll be pulling 2 of those each month, and then this pile is the books. They're actually all in this section of my bookshelf that they're also gonna be a little piece of paper and put in one of my little I have some ceramic bowls that I don't actually really use for anything at this time, so I will probably put them in one of those. Hi all, so it's 3 o'clock now. I've been very good about updating this vlog throughout the day, which bodes well for next week's vlog when I will be home all the time. But I wanted to check in. My little sister and I just finished doing yoga, and we actually calculated, now that my dad this morning told me that Excel can calculate the number of days between 2 dates, which I did not know. I'm a huge Excel fan. I love Excel and I love learning cool things about it, and my dad is the keeper of all cool things of Excel. But he told me that, so I've been doing some fun like math. I used it to figure out how long I've been reading The New Daughters of Africa, which is over here, and then we also just use it to determine how long we've been doing yoga, because I've been keeping it kind of in my bullet journal, but I don't keep track of it every day, so I have to like flip back and see when the last time I like wrote down what day it was. and we are at day 272 today, which is exciting. Our big goal is to get to 1,000 days, which we calculated when that will be. So a year will be on the 20th of March in 2021, which will be very easy to get to, and then 500 days will be in August of 2021, and then 1,000 days will be in December of 2022. So we will try our best. I mean, if all things kind of go according to plan for the two of us, in the fall I will be doing grad school, and my little sister, who's a classics major, will be studying abroad, fingers crossed, in the Mediterranean somewhere, either in Athens or in Rome. And so that will be kind of our biggest yoga challenge to date. We did do virtual yoga over FaceTime for several months while she was at school, but then this semester she will be virtual / remote, so she'll be here at home, so that'll be easier. But I did find that fun to learn that information and to figure out when that 1,000 days will actually come around, if we're able to continue our yoga streak, which 272 I would say is pretty good so far. So we are definitely excited to continue on doing yoga. We're gonna do the 30 days of yoga with Adrian in 2021 that we are super excited about. We started with her home 2020 journey back in March, and it was a great way to like get into it. So if you've been trying to get into yoga or get back into it, definitely consider signing up for the 2021 30 days of yoga breath practice. I think that will be really good. I'm really excited about the little trailer. Was very good. I will put a link to it down in the description box below. But anyway, so right now I'm going to wrap the rest of my presents. I did have to get more wrapping paper because my mom was also using this wrapping paper and we ran out. So I have a few more things I have to wrap, as well as the like gifts for the kiddos, which I think I showed you at the beginning of this vlog. Vlogs are starting to kind of meld together in my mind, so I'm pretty sure it was this one. But I'm gonna wrap those, and then once I get my negative COVID test, hopefully tomorrow, I will drop them off at their neighborhood. But while I do that, I think I will be reading, or listening to, I guess, the Shadow King by Maaza and Mengiste. He's helping me print.
Hello, vlog. Jenny has another sister. I'm technically in a Zoom meeting right now, but not really in the Zoom meeting.
Hi all, so as you can see, I'm in my kind of more formal video filming area, as I am about to film 2 videos. However, before I do that, I did just want to close out this vlog as I was editing it earlier this morning and realized that it's quite long, so it's ready to be done with. If you have stuck around for this long in the vlog, thank you so much for watching. I also will say that this morning I did finish Goodbye Vitamin by Khong. Really enjoyed this one. Excited to talk about it for my book club, and then we'll be talking about it more in depth in my December wrap up. And then we'll definitely be finishing The Shadow King by Maaza Mengiste later today, and then filming and uploading and posting my review of this one tomorrow. So that should already be up on my channel. I'll put a link to it up in the cards above, but do check that out if you want to know more about my thoughts on this one. But I definitely do think that the last kind of section of the book is like the strongest part of the book, and I've really enjoyed these last kind of 100 pages more so than I was during the kind of middle sections of the book. And then I think those are all of my kind of main updates. Again, thank you so much for watching if you stuck around for this long. Additionally, if you are new to my channel and you found me through this video, I'd love to have you stick around and subscribe. And I will continue vlogging tomorrow, Saturday, December 19th, but you won't see that until after Christmas. So Merry Christmas if you celebrate that. I will be sure to include some Christmas festivities in next week's vlog, and it also has a special fun theme, so do get excited for that. And I think that's everything. I will talk to you next time. Bye.